We're
How are
back.
you?
My
We're
God, it's
here.
been a month already.
Yeah.
I feel like we just did this yesterday.
Yes, for sure. Was a very, very interesting energy in the
Yeah.
last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it really feels like it just was a week ago that
Yeah.
we did our first episode.
Yeah. Everybody,
Welcome
thanks for
to
coming
the second
back.
episode of the
Yes.
Blackbird Oracle.
Woo. Who else here? Mawarika, Lacey. Haven't seen you in a while. Hirimata. Ooh, the spicy pepper camps are here. One of the kohas. Let me get the hang of this. Katamakutu wakoha. Yeah. Welcome. Sherry Lynn from New Brunswick, Canada. Mani Kai. Hamani Sa. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few others joining. Welcome, welcome. So we'll kick off with a little brief intro, all the housekeeping type things. What do we have? We do have the question time, like Huna does on his show. We're going to save that for later. We're going to get through our conversations first of the summary of last month, going through the structures that we find in the geometries of December, doing the card reading with Kahasahi. Once we get through all that, then we will send the link out for you guys to come on screen and ask your question. The raffle for this month to get a one-on-one with Huna Flash is still open. Not a lot of people have signed up, so you have a really good chance of winning if you sign up now. So all that stuff is in the description. The link for the download of December's geometries that we look at today, also in the description. That's all ready to go. It is a bit of a doozy. It's bigger than it normally is. So there's a lot of good stuff to look at. Yeah, usually it's 7 and it's more than 7. There's a reason for that.
I'm excited now.
There's a reason for that. So you guys can download that and follow along if you want to. We are going to be adding chapters to these at the end of the show. We can't do that beforehand. So afterwards, if you want to come back and reference it, especially if you're working with the structures that we're looking at, then you can come back and reference the conversations. And the same thing for last month. We have the chapters already added. And also helps us because we can go and review what we talked about easier. So we're not trying to dig through however long that video was. And our websites are also called out in the description if you want to work with us, especially which direction am I putting this one? This one. It's always the opposite. If you want to work with this one over here, you get a card session with Huna Kahasa here. Website is in the description along with mine.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten your Lemurian birth chart, it's about time.
Yeah. I also do have one-on-one sessions. You don't get your birth chart with it, but we can have conversations about things. I've had a little bit of interest in that, of people wanting to work in that way with me. Like if you're not sure about getting a birth chart, because it is more of a koha type of investment. Maybe you're not sure. You could still have the one-on-one session if you want to, or you could just get the birth chart session, whatever. I'm all good with it. So where do we start? Liz Hernandez. Oh, I think that's Mira Matopere. Yeah. Hi, Mira. Aloha. Oh, Colette from Ireland. Hi, Udon. The house dog has come to visit. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I think we will just start by looking back at what happened in the last 4 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Between the episodes, and to kind of look into what took actually place and what was already in the energy. So what was already showing up in the reading, and how did it show up and how did it play out? Yeah, okay. I think that's where we start, eh?
So I'm gonna try to share my screen. The house dog has laid on my foot. Okay. Let's see. Screen share. Okay. Settings got changed on my computer. All right. So easier for all of us to try to keep our sanity. We're going to go through a text list. So I'm not just reading it off of a list. So after the show, and I'll come back to this later, there was a gifting from the Umatere Hato to someone within House of Huna. Now, if you were around last week for the show, I did share this story. I will share it again. So if you already know the story, please don't spoil it for anybody. On the 31st, so there are some solar flares that I'd added into this as well. The X class are the major ones, and then the M class are the moderates. But so this like right below the X class. So the 31st, this is already getting into the kahuku. Some upticks in the energies from the solar flares. There was a spike in the Schumann resonance on the 4th in the evening, along with another somewhat significant solar flare. We had this happen on the 5th. Let's see if I can zoom in here. There's 2 triangles on the sun.
Yes, they are.
The
Wow.
the day of the special selection day. Hello. He's come up on
What day was that? Oh, the day of the
5th.
special selection day. Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
The turtle special selection dance. Then on the 6th, for those of you who know of this little global coherence dot, they measure energies around the planet. And when it gets more into the blue area, this is more of a global coherence, at least how they're registering it. So the day after, there was global coherence, because I don't know if it's related to all the news about.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to ask to what is that related? The you know.
I wonder if that's what it was, because it was the 6th when all of the news was out about when all of the news had come through, like everybody woke up and here's the news of who won. Let's see. It's not letting me advance. There we go. Another solar flare on the 10th, the M9, pretty big one. As of the 16th, and I verified this because I do follow him on Twitter. He had a blue check mark. And then the 16th came and it changed to a gray check mark. Now, the significance of that is gray means government entity. Oh. This is someone who is not officially inaugurated, because that doesn't happen until January 20th. So this is very curious to see that the checkmark color has changed to denote that this account is now a government entity account. Hi, Huna. I see the big guy is hiding in the background. We have November 18th over in the Zodiac Gregorian realm. The one we call Kata'au, they call this Pluto, moved from Capricorn to Aquarius. And this was a very big deal. They've been talking about this for a while, because it was in Capricorn for a long time. And then it dipped into Aquarius in January, actually, of this year. It was right after the Lion's Gate. And then it went retrograde back into Capricorn. And then it went forward again. And now it's in Aquarius and it is going forward, at least the way that they speak to it. So there's energy shifts going on there. On the 19th, there were 2 sea cables cut in the Baltic. One between Finland, Germany, the other between Lithuania, Sweden. The 21st, this was the first time this type of whatever this missile is, hypersonic, whatever. We don't need to get into those specifics. First time in human history that this missile was used. used by Russia on the Ukraine, and it's called the Oreshnik. I apologize if I didn't pronounce that right. The English is hazel tree.
Mm.
And I know there's spiritual significance to the trees and the specific trees themselves. I think there might be some clues within this, maybe within the Celtic tradition. We have the various Avengers confirmed. It's what they've been calling them over on Twitter, at least in America. The real life Avengers. We have Tulsi, who is Samoan. She represented Hawaii in their government for a while. She is the head of the Department of Intelligence now. And we have RFK, the head of the health department. We have Elon getting involved with DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. And yes, the acronym matches the cryptocurrency and the meme that came out a long time ago about the dog.
Mm.
And they're all about government efficiency with money, the wastefulness of money and how that's communicated to the public of, okay, we're paying all of our tax dollars, at least the Americans, paying out all these tax dollars. Well, was it really going to? They weren't being upfront with the people about that. Now it's being revealed what that's going towards, like experiments with transgender monkeys. Elon and Vivek is another gentleman who's been involved with a lot of this stuff. They're both running that government entity together, and they're doing a podcast where they're going to talk about all this stuff where the money goes to. So it's not hidden anymore. They're going to be very upfront. And Elon is the one who took over Twitter, took out 90% of the workforce, and it's still working really, really good. So you can imagine, looking at it that way, what can come from that kind of shift with having just the right person in there, seemingly, at least from what we see, with good intentions. And then crypto's going completely crazy. Bitcoin, I think, is about to hit 100,000 for the first time. It hit 97,000 for the first time US dollars. I'm seeing people taking advantage of each other. They're doing streams, and somebody might be dumb enough to have the secret code up there, so then somebody else will take it and steal their money, or they will manipulate. I don't know if they open their own cryptocurrency, like that's branded to them, and then they manipulate the price on the stream and then pull all of the money, and then everybody gets screwed. There's all kinds of things going on. That's the last page. So that's a lot. And that's not everything. That is not everything. It's never everything. The theme of prosperity. There is a continuous theme of prosperity. And yes, we know that we're on the verge of things. We hear that all the time. And sometimes we go crazy because we feel like we're getting gaslighted.
Yeah. Well, we already had that in our reading. Do you remember when you shared about the Uno? And when we talked about that, it was about the roots and the opening of the roots, the sprouting of the roots. And the roots are where we get our nutrition, where we get our abundance, where we get that flow of energy in, especially on the physical side of things. So I feel this is where there was a connection. And when I rewatch the reading from last month, that code really it stuck out again, and I felt like, yeah, this was really happening. And I also thought about the Bitcoin exploding right on the day of the, what you called it, the beautiful
special selection dance, just for censorship purposes.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny.
Yeah, and so that really felt like it was hitting right there, in terms of what the crystal foundation of the last 4 weeks actually already presented before. Yeah.
That thing that I started off with,
Yeah.
with the gifting, the koha from the Umatere Hato. Sometime it was back. I'll start back in August. There was an American man that we had found, me and Takuhara, that's very knowledgeable with grants, all how to find grants, all of these things. And there's a monthly membership, and you get access to phone calls, working with people who can guide you through these things, and all of these links of how to find things. And they also have a monthly giveaway that you can sign up for. So for each of us, our plan was we'll do this for 3 months and see, do we want to stick with it? And if not, we'll just cancel. So I was signing up for the giveaways every month. You give like $500 for whatever, or a free laptop. And at the end, I decided I'm going to cancel. And we come to the 27th of last month. And by this point, he had asked me if I had ever heard of Saint Expedite. He had just found him, and I had never heard of him. This was a first for us. And for him, I know the practices within the hoodoo resonate very strongly with him, and also with the archangels. So this saint is the patron saint of Wednesday. In the Lemurian light calendar, for us, that is the day of prosperity. That is the energy of that day. So we have our show. We get to the evening. We're upstairs watching football. And I'm on the phone with Mahariwa Ata. And she wants to send me money directly on Wise to get the download of the geometries instead of just paying for it through my website. So we finish the conversation. She goes, I'll send you $10 because I only ask for 8, and people can donate or give more if they want to. And end the conversation. I go upstairs and Takuhara says, so that grant group, do they text you when you win something? And he shows me the text message. I go log into the group and I see his name on the list of winners from August. That was the only one that he had signed up for rent assistance. He didn't sign up for anything else. He didn't know you could do it repeatedly until you win. It's in alphabetical order by last name, and he was number 17 on that list. The other really funny part of this is he was just looking at his phone, at his bank account. It's like, okay, I'm going to buy that Saint Expedite candle. And then boom, there's the text message. He won $500. 8:38. But they announced the winners a week before. From the August. They finally did the August drawing.
Yeah.
So after that, I checked my phone because I knew Mahariwa Ata had sent me the money. I just hadn't opened the app. She sent me $17.
Yeah.
So I texted you. I had texted some of the other Hunas, and I had texted Mauta. Because Mauta had never heard of him either. And this is where the Umatere Hato comes from that conversation I had with him. I didn't even ask the question, like verbally. He just knew telepathically what I was asking for. The Umatere Hato, the universal human saint of doing shit fast. That's my way of saying it. Because Saint Expedite is the one that will help you get things fast. And it's not just money, court things or just helping to resolve things quickly. Yeah. And there are a lot of stories about this being working with people, and they have benefited greatly from finding money hiding within their family, within a family inheritance, for instance, that it was being hidden from them. And all of a sudden they have $200,000 that they didn't know was sitting there waiting for them. So the arrival of this Umatere Hato, it's got me wondering if there is a testing of the system happening, because maybe we're on the verge of something. And this, as of today, we're going into the quantum shift or the quantum leap being carried by the Kahu, the whale star nations, of those who are ready to make this shift, which is over 300 billion beings, a lot of whom are in the physical body right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I remember that, or in the review I saw, you know, in the reading that we did for this month, the card of the Hato energy, so the saint energy already revealed itself, and it was right next to the Na, so it was about the many. And I remember that you already mentioned this story on Huna Flash TV last week, and you already put out this feeling of, okay, this is going to raise the question of what other Hato medicines are there? What are they? What other codes are there available? And it almost feels like that this was already, it was already presenting itself like, okay, this is we are gonna come in now in terms of we're gonna reveal our Lemurian, or we're gonna share the Lemurian aspects. The Lemurian aspects of this is gonna be remembered now. So this is very beautiful. It was already there in the cards. Very interesting. And also funny how things sometimes present themselves and how they unfold, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some other newcomers. We have Atamarie, Hasamatere. That's Kamaroha, also from Turtle Island. Welcome. Did anybody else pop in? Mataina. Welcome. All right. So is there anything else that you can think of before?
Yeah, I have actually a couple of things that I still want to address. In the geometries, we saw that there was this significant shift within the month. You remember where, you know, at the beginning, we could see that the geometries were sharing a lot of this energy, like it was about being up there. It was very much about, let's say, the upper jaw. And then right there with the alignment of Wahi and Matariki, which is the sun and the star cluster of the Pleiades, they had their alignment happening. Was that on the 22nd, 21st, 23rd?
That would have been, I'll just pull up my calendar because I can't.
I remember it was before the 23rd.
Yeah, so for us, that started on the 21st, but it would have been Friday in New Zealand.
Yeah, and what happened was that Mauta, our beautiful elder, he shared some information that he received through the Dragon Eye with us. You might have seen the symbols. And it was really, really interesting because over the last weeks, and this was already a request that I put out there in the energies, because I'm working with the codes, and not only with the codes in terms of how they are written in Latin, in the writing that we are familiar with, but I'm also getting myself more acquainted with remembering the Lemurian scripture. And I was feeling like, okay, I was seeking out to receive the symbols for the upper and the lower jaw, because they are very fundamental. They are very, very fundamental energies or principles. And on that, during that shift, Moto went into the Dragon Eye and he actually received that. When I saw that, I immediately recognized the symbol. And that was on the 22nd that he went into the Dragon Eye, I think, or the 21st.
Yeah.
So that was really beautiful. And it was already like in the geometries, you could already see that the weeks before it was all about the upper jaw activations and the upper jaw remembrance. And also during the readings that I had throughout the month and other conversations, and, you know, the questions that came to me, I was guided a lot, or the answer was a lot it's about how you hold yourself. Do you remember that vision or that gesture that you did right at the beginning, where you put your hands out and you did this? And it was about, the sustaining of the clay ball. So it was really about how do we hold ourselves, and this was felt throughout the whole. It's still felt. It's still being integrated. This is very much also about the inner child energy. How do we hold ourselves? Of course, this is connected to how do we hold our most sacred, let's say.
Yeah.
And
I finally found, if you need the reference.
Beautiful.
Yeah. If you
so
need
there you can see it right there. And it's just very interesting. Yeah. And then also when we had the reading concerning the question about what can we expect in terms of the outcome, or what can we expect the energies to be surrounding the selection dance, we had the energy of the poo coming up, and I was speaking about the arrow, and this was actually also received in the dragon eye the same day. The arrow showed up and it confirmed what was already presenting itself in the reading. And also I remember that in that reading we touched on the thing of that there will probably be a thing where the hands will be made dirty for a good reason, and we could already witness this throughout this month. This is connected to the missile in Russia. And I remember that when I didn't share it in that moment, because I didn't want to go too deeply into, the different parties that are, involved in all of this. But I remember that I had Russia, or I had Putin in my mind. So things were already in the reading, and now they are unfolding. And it's going to be interesting to see how it now continues in the geometries and in the cards for the next 4 weeks. And I truly hope that the feeling will be a good one. This is what I have. What I have. Was there?
I remember real quick the notes that I had made for Huna's show last week.
There was actually a question that I had for you. Was there anything significant happening on a Friday last month?
There were a few Fridays.
Because we had the Kahu, like the Unra Toho showing up, and it was a card that already came in the general reading for the month, but it wanted to wait for the later question. Yeah. So that one, I was interested in, how was there something where this is actually where this card pointed towards to?
So I don't know if I can pull it up. In America, we had the very rigged fight between Mike Tyson, and this guy named Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And Tyson easily would have KO'd him in the beginning. But that's not how he was fighting. He was holding back because he would get more money in his contract if he allowed himself to be beaten by this 20. I don't know if he's 27. And that was a huge turnout. There was over 70,000 people in that arena in person. I think this was Netflix's first time trying to stream a live sports event, and they were failing miserably. It was buffering really bad. At one point, and this again, the whole rigging nonsense of, there's this video clip that went viral of Tyson, greeting somebody, saying goodbye. When he walks away, his ass cheeks are out. He's wearing like chaps, like shorts, chaps or something. Like, okay, we were able to watch it on Twitter. There were some people streaming it on Twitter because Netflix was having such a problem. And Netflix is apparently going to do this more often with streaming sports events. They're supposed to do this on Christmas Day with American football.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just saw that they also streamed another show. That was the first time that I came across. Oh, they're doing something live actually. So yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that fight took place on a Friday.
Friday night, yeah, on the 15th. Yes, it was a bit cheeky.
Do you remember on what? And because I don't actually remember on which day of the week that missile or the missiles, the first missiles got launched from.
Let me see
the other side.
I have it. Shoot, here's the summary. I don't know if the check mark on Trump's Twitter changed on the 16th or if it was confirmed the 16th. It could have been the 15th because the 16th was a Saturday. If we're looking at this, we have we have the 1st and the 8th, the 22nd. The missile was on the 21st.
So it was a Thursday.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything else.
No, I just got to. Never mind. We just move on here.
Yeah.
Ponder on this too long.
That might be the end of this week. That might be.
And I mean, there's still another Friday.
Yeah.
Well, even though it's in the Maita, but it's still connected. Yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado, we have
let's jump ahead.
Gone on long enough with our summary and chatter of things. This is the first time Kasahi is seeing this live with the rest of you, unless you bought the download. For this one, I have left some of the Motu placements. That's what all these numbers are. All of them are in the download. I don't have them all on here because we don't need that for this. I left these on here so we can see certain Motu and how they're moving. Now, with the month of November, usually when I do a minimum of 7 geometries, 7 different days. And there's specific days that I do. And we usually see more prominence of a Motu at some point. So there's a lot of planetary placements and other things that they speak to in the zodiac. And they will be higher up in the structure. But for the Kahuku during the month of November, I don't know that it was up at all in the upper area. The furthest it got was here, or at least that I would be speaking to it. So we had that speaking a lot to the inner transformation that's going on, major inner transformation. And now we're going into the 7th month. That's what the number 7 is on here, is our friend, the Okapi Motu.
It's so funny. I can't believe it that, because just before I was pondering on the geometries and I was like tuning into December and I was like getting mother of all changes. There it is.
Yeah, we started off with the bang, mother of all changes. Not only do we start it off with a bang, she shows up 3 times.
Yes, I see that. I saw that immediately and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And number 7, the Okapi. So this is here in the body, in the tree. It's not so outward. So this is the same theme as last month. We have it here. And then it's a little more present in this one, in the Traveler, on the return, when we do the gifting back to the creator. But it's here in that layer in the throat, in the Tangita. It here This is a fun one. This is gonna be a fun month, guys. And then
Mm.
here in the mass times mass, we have, for those interested in the alignment of the sun with the middle of the Milky Way galaxy, we have that going on around the time of the, uh, Tapu. This is the Tapu, the mass times mass ball is on the Tapu, on the
Look, it looks
solstice.
like this.
Yeah, and then this new one, there's a bunch of new ones in here,
Yeah,
and then it
I
rises up
already figured.
on
Mhm.
Christmas. It rises up to the top. Now, this is the opening of the Lionsgate portal on the 25th. The
Yeah,
Lemurian
that's true.
Lionsgate
Yeah.
is on the it's in the 8th month of the year. The 8th month for us is in January. So the portal opens up on the 25th. Purge all that you don't need anymore if you choose to purge it, or you can hold on to it and have your very spicy dragon ride as a result of that. Um, that's when that portal opens, and that's when we see Okapi at the top. Because
Mm.
Okapi plays also a very big role in this. And then
Okapi
goes back
motu.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Goes back here
Mm.
into the throat, and then I usually don't add the maitas publicly.
Mm.
I do them just to have them, but this time I had to add them.
Mm.
So we
Wow.
have in the maita, big prominence of the Okapi,
You can see an arrow right in that geometry in the center.
and this this geometry here in the throat is a dragon ride.
Mm.
There's really 6. There are really 6 in here. So the overall message that I have, the rundown for this month. Now this is the 1st of December starts on a Sunday. So this not only do we have the tapu this month or the solstice, it is correctly aligned per the Lemurian structure of the light year calendar.
Hmm.
We had that in, I think, in September as well. And then we have at least one more, I think, in March coming up. I don't remember
You know
where.
what? That's also interesting because those are the months that are in the tapu.
I have to double check that, so don't
Yeah, but
take my word for it. We have, I think, at least one more until June.
mm.
There's always at least 1 month every year that is correctly aligned.
Just wanting to explain with tapu, I mean the energies where the solstices and the solstices and the equinoxes are happening. The months that are the energies, the moments that are aligned with the, let's say, the cardinal directions within our light calendar, the wataka, the wheel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sorry.
Mhm. So, this correctly aligned with the Lemurian structure of
Mm.
the light year calendar. This is the beginning of the second half of Lemurian year 2025. And what I'm seeing is suggesting another level of potency and intensity in our work. So when we're working in the Wataka, we're working in the Nimarana or in the undistorted frequencies, it's going to be next level.
Mm.
And I say that because we have 4 days, confirmed days, including the Maita of Dragon Ride energies. This is where we have 6 Motu in one layer. And each of those Motu have 2 star constellations or 2 Kawa. So it's a total of 6 Motu and 12 Kawa. That is a lot going on in one space.
Mm-hmm.
And these do come up in the birth geometries as well, having that
Mm.
a layer somewhere. And actually, Kahasi happens to be one of them.
That's true.
And
That
when
makes a
I
lot of sense, actually.
and when I see these, the impression that I get is, and this has been confirmed in all of the conversations I've had with my clients that have something like this, when the energy moves through you, when the dragon energy moves through you, when you're having an emotional moment, like you're getting triggered from a trauma, for instance, it gets really intense because there's a lot of energy to move through within the one layer of your being.
Mm.
But then there's also the ability to allow that energy to express without it riding you. If you allow it to be in that way. Maybe there's like early childhood maybe that comes up sometimes where it was a little bit of a struggle to get a hold of that, but then you can also recognize it as a very wide bandwidth that is capable of carrying a lot of different medicines within it.
And here again also comes in the one of the essence lessons, the essences of the lessons from the last 4 weeks is how do you hold yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe this is why we went through this. You know, what here we can recognize why the energies align in a certain way, because now we're leading up to this. So we needed to have this moment in order to be able to hold ourselves within these intense moments of like the dragon rides,
almost like trying to refine us a little bit, because it is a very big purging portal already, because this is the Lion's Gate we're dealing with. And we have on the enter, when we receive the gift, we've already done the gifting on the return. It's like, here you go, creator. Love you. And the creator's like, hey, it's the 18th. I got something for you. I got something big.
Yeah.
When I look at this on the 18th, the energy is riding up through the Kahuku to be transformed. When we look at the Maita, it's riding up through the Okapi to be restructured.
Interesting. And there we see, or we learn, or it confirms again this feeling of, you know, the Mutus are not just only staying within their, what we feel like this is your time frame, but it shares, okay, Kahuku is still doing its work into, you know, consulting and working together with the Okapi in this beautiful way.
Yes.
Wow.
So something else I want to call out as well. October's Motu is number 5.
Yeah.
That is why we have number 5 on here. We have 5 and 6. 5 is the Kirihi, October. November is 6, the Kahuku. And then we have Hea, that's January's, is number 8. And then Okapi is 7. So I have those on there just for us to see how are they moving. There might be something that comes through the cards since this context is being shared.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, but in the Traveler, you can see that Okapi and Kahuku, is it Okapi and Kahuku? Yeah, they're sitting close together. And we spoke the kids are sitting night. Was I lost?
You turned into a robot. Can everybody at least hear me? Okay. Moak. Yeah, Moak. Definitely Moak. I thought of that myself. Made me think of Moab. There she is. Miss Kahasahi. Oh no.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
No.
The 6th one was the cow. They are sitting next to each other. And in the last reading, we spoke a lot about the Kirihi. The Kirihi was very present. So it really looks like they are riding close, like they are riding buddies right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also have, just in this one, I have 1 and 2, which is Kopunui and Kaka, they're both in what we call taro, or the root, sitting right next to each other. So there's root, sacral, or no, root, solar, and heart. Boom, boom, boom. I think that might be Tuatara up there. I don't remember. But we have Kahuku up here instead of the Okapi.
But it
And
makes
then we have
sense if it
Kirihi here. And then here,
Yep.
it's the 28th. It's almost like an amplifier preparing for the coming dragon ride.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense that the Kahuku would be so present up, in the upper frequencies, if it's like doing that work still in the Okapi energies. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. There are alignments to what's called the chakras with the motu. And there's 12 motu aligned to 6 chakras. That's I'll just explain it in that way without going too far into it. So I'm gonna pop over back to my notes. This one's a doozy, and I'll share this from the message that I have written in the download. Everything is ready. It is prepared for quantum shenanigans. I was calling out the Umatere Hato as well. And yes, it is in part the financial. I know that question comes up a lot because we're patiently waiting for our bank accounts to stop fasting. There's a lot of foundation building that needs to be done for this. So there's more information. I don't need to speak to it. There's some opportunities with those ceremonies and that work to go play with the children in your home or in your community, if that's something that you already do, to get them involved. This is a fun one. I'm going to call this one out. The requested gift. In the messages that were shared with me, a gift was requested for the 6th. 48 rings. They don't have to be actual. They don't have to be actual rings. You can get creative. You can do blades of grass and make rings and gift the motu. You gift them to the motu. Now, each motu wants 4 rings because they represent.
Well, maybe the motu has buddies to share those with. Maybe it's for the kawa as well, and maybe there's some other energies that are wanting to come into that alignment of the ring or the circle as well. That could be connected to the hato and the different energies, more aspects of the motu and the motukawa wanting to be remembered.
Yeah.
So that we can receive even more detailed messages and that we can do more detailed work, that we can be more precise even. And I really feel like with the geometry that is present within the Maita, it's just so interesting because you can really see that arrow right there in the middle of the geometry, the arrowhead. And I mean, that came through the dragon eye. And, I will be excited for this Maita energy to see what's happening, what's gonna, because we know that the arrowhead represents very, very fast movement, like shooting like an arrow.
Yes.
Is the energy of the poo.
Yeah, and we're being carried into the Hea, and that's the house of quantum leaps.
Yeah.
Quantum shenanigans. There are 48 stargates on the planet. So when that number was shared with me, I did look at it in that way.
Yeah.
That each motu wanted 4 rings. That could be what it's speaking to. So that's how I that's how I wrote it up.
Mhm.
That this is where the children come in. So if there are children that are in your home that you go and do these shamanic things with, they want to get involved with the Lemurian stuff, and they really resonate strongly with this. Um, let them interact and be the the final approver of your little ceremony when you go to do it.
It's
Um,
funny, my mother, she just showed me a thing that where she suggested, oh, we could do this with Leni, and it's actually like you cut out a paper ring, and then you just take paper stripes. The best if you take some sort of like colorful, transparent paper, and then you just glue them over the ring, and it creates this beautiful mandala effect in the center. And I just thought, like, this is interesting. I just spoke about this today. And it's
yeah.
literally like just a paper ring. I'm going to
Uh,
do that with her.
yeah. The other thing I'll call out as we finish this up, because I don't need to talk about everything,
Mm.
is the enter. Now, this is where we receive the gift, and cinnamon came up. Cinnamon came up because cinnamon is used for prosperity rituals. And this is something that is typically used in other times of the month. But in this case, we're opening the portal to receive whatever this big thing is that is, it looks like it's confirmed in the structure of the 18th. There's big energy coming in. So we have to prepare the space to receive that. So there was the suggestion made of working with cinnamon, and you can go Google it. There's something that's used in a lot of hoodoo rituals, as far as I've been told. And I know there's other lineages that work also with prosperity type rituals, to go play around with that and find something that works for you. If there is something that you already have from your own lineage, like maybe the Celtic or the hoodoo or whatever, then go work with that for that time frame to welcome it in like a long awaited guest.
So
Because
interesting.
you want to
Yeah.
welcome that being, because it is a consciousness, to
Yeah.
welcome that in. And that the intention is opening the pathway for that. Um, and it's not going to be just for you, because this also benefits the rest of the planet.
It's just so funny. It really feels like I was already tuning into your sharing for today, because I was out on the street
Yeah.
and I came across, like in Hamburg, oftentimes people just put stuff that they no longer want out there for others to just take, like a gift on the street. And I came across this little pile, and there was cinnamon. Like there were 2 bags of cinnamon just sitting there. And I was looking at it and I'm like, am I going to take it? And I'm like, no, I still have it at home. But I was taking notice of the cinnamon, and it's just interesting because, there are bits and pieces already that came through in the telepathics today. That's so
Wow.
cool.
There's some beautiful sharings coming in. Let me turn my screen
Yeah.
off. I need to get a wallet. Cinnamon in my pocket. Yeah, cinnamon in your purse. You get a cinnamon stick and you could put that in your purse. I don't have cinnamon sticks, but we do have cinnamon powder. So I have hiding inside of my case, I already have drawings of some prosperity symbols that I have from the Dragon Masters. And then I put cinnamon on it and then folded it on itself so it doesn't make a mess and scratch up my phone. But I have it in my phone case now.
And that's a really cool idea.
Yeah. So you could be really creative with it. And also if you have kotahara, that might be something to experiment with. My coffee works with cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamon and coffee is really good.
Cocoa as well.
Yes, hirimata. It attracts money. Always put some in your wallet. More money will come in than goes out. So you're just like mixing all of these different things and experimenting. Like, ooh, what can we do today?
And you said that specifically for the energy of the enter.
The
You said,
18th, yes. Now
mhm.
in those practices, they say the first of the month, because there's a whole practice that you could do for your home. So you're setting the energy of your home, uh, blowing cinnamon through the door, and there's articles and YouTube videos that talk about the specifics of this. But you blow it in through the door, and then you leave it for 24 hours, and you don't and wait until you sweep it up, things like that. Um, and on the new moon, that is what has been suggested by others. But in this case, we're working with the energies of what is coming in. So it's like Waikara. Like
Mm.
in Karanga. It's almost like a Karanga feeling of welcoming them in.
Yeah, calling them in.
Hmm.
Call from your house gate, cinnamon,
Yes.
cinnamon.
Karanga! Come to me, cinnamon.
Yeah, beautiful. And I also just thought, it's like this time of the year where people do a lot of decoration. You can use
Mhm.
cinnamon for that. That's really, really appropriate.
Make your house reek of cinnamon. One of the
Yes.
things that I like to do as we get into the card reading, I'll close
Mhm.
off with one of the things that I did in the past, not doing it currently, is taking cider, apple cider, like get it from the store, and then have a separate bag of spices to brew with slices of orange. And the apartment rather, smelled really, really good. But then I'm also making this really nice medicinal apple cider with star anise and cloves and cinnamon and all of the other things. So yes, that's really, really good. Uh,
Yeah, we have those all over in the streets of Germany right now because the Christmas markets are being put up and it smells of cinnamon, the almonds, burned cinnamon almonds and stuff. So
mhm.
it's interesting that this is coming up. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So do you want to do since we're an hour in, do you want to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
the break? Yeah, this is
Yes,
a little
let's
more
do a little
involved.
break.
Yes, do a break, then we'll do the cards, and then
Yeah.
we'll get into some questions if anybody
Yes.
has any. All right. So we are going to do a pause for the calls. Um, just showcasing all of the Hunas and their wonderful things that they offer. And we'll be right back. Ooh, it's time. Oh, you are muted. Zyla, welcome. Yes, you can come back to the same link and watch it later.
Yeah.
We are going to have chapters marked at some point, so you can go to different parts of the conversation if you need to.
Tamaki,
Hmm?
please pick a number between 1 and 13.
9.
9. Let me start again. 1, 2, 3.
Hoomph? Hoomph?
It's the kahuku. It's the beautiful card of the kahuku Stargate alignment.
Yes.
So
And these are the symbols that have been channeled. By the way, these are the symbols that have been channeled, similar to the symbols that we have of Aries with that little ram looking thing. These are the symbols of the Motu as channeled by the effervescent Miskahase.
Yeah. So this is the symbol, the motu symbol for the butterfly. Yes. And we've talked a lot about it already, the butterfly.
Yeah.
So it's just, and yes, it's all about me still. Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Zylo. Aloha. Wawa nui.
Yeah, because there were some people having some interest in the card decks that I use. These cards are from the card deck from Rebecca Campbell. It's the Rose Oracle. Very beautiful card.
This is a new deck that I haven't seen you use this one.
Well, I got this gifted by Huna Matatu already a couple of years back. That was in Turkey. And these ones they are amazing. It's one of my favorite card decks. It's called the Unknown Wild Archetypes by Kim Cranes. So these are very beautiful. They come in 2 different sizes. Yeah. But enough about this. So, see what they have here. Okay. So, right here in the center, we have the tear, the essence of the tear, which is interesting, considering that we've already seen a lot of dragon ride energies. And people who are familiar with the dragon ride already will probably understand this very deeply in terms of how the dragon tear is oftentimes bringing a lot of healing within the energy of a dragon ride. Usually when the tear of the dragon is being shared, you can witness a shift within the energies of the room of a dragon ride. So maybe this is an invitation to observe yourself and to see like, okay, where is this entering? Where is this energy entering for myself? You know, because yes, we are going through a dragon ride within us frequently. So sitting with that very consciously and witnessing what is bringing relief and what is bringing on the shift is I feel an invitation that is being extended here. Then also we have celebration energy here. This is what I see within this card. It's for me almost like
move it away from you a little bit so we can read it. Try to. Temple of the Rose, Ancient Power Expression Activation, Scarlet Codes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but for me, especially when I look onto the picture, it's an energy that I've already picked up on, because I'm probably going to have my next dragon ride within the energies of the MA AKE in the December. And I already got the theme of the dragon ride right away. And there is the energy of the dance of unification within that space. So it's also the energy that the Okapi shares. The Okapi is very much about unity, bringing things into unification, bringing things into that unity consciousness, into that oneness, into that remembrance of that sacred divine connection to everything that is always with you, around you, surrounding you, and inviting that connection to that dance within the eternal realm that is present, because the Okapi is in alignment with the North Star, which is Toke, which also represents the formless, as Tona, which is the south. So at the opposite is representing the form. So this is something where we are now entering this time where we can really connect to the things that are always available for us, that where we can take in that beautiful light, and we can embrace it. We can embrace that dance. We can embrace the dragon ride as a beautiful dance of unification. And that might ease the way of purging, because we can move in this beautiful dance with our emotions. We can witness ourself in the expression of the body within the dance. We can witness, and we can hold ourselves differently. That's the feeling that I get. And then also the presence of the Great Mother, the presence of the of that space that is holding the light, that space that is embracing the light, that space which is holding everything is very present. We have, for one, this card here, the Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. This is what I feel with this dancing energy. Allow yourself the gentleness, allow yourself the softness, allow yourself to fall into your own arms, to even witness yourself softening into your own arms, by maybe softening your arms, by expressing. And then we even have the arm showing up right here with the card of the offering. So there is this great potential here for us to really integrate a deep remembrance into our physical. It's about our body still. We already had this last month. It was about the clay. It was about the body. It was about the physical. This continues in the way that it is, that the offering, the energy still is extended to really transform within the physical. And the Mother is showing up here again in the other card deck. So yes, the Okapi is representation of the Father light, the face of Father, but who is right there with the Father? Who is now really speaking from that place? Right now it is Mother. Mother is right there in the heart of Father, being expressed through the Father light. So there is again this remembrance of unity, not always saying, okay, this is that and this is that. No, it's all that one, and right now this oneness is sharing this energy, is sharing this remembrance, this opportunity. If we can really embrace it in that unity consciousness and no longer go into trying to separate it by analyzing it or by putting it into boxes or whatever, and it's sharing also sacred union. They are one. So yes, even though Okapi is the face of the light of Father, they are still one. they've always been one. So this is what is there for us to really, really embrace and to take in. Okay, this is, it's really getting me, let's say, fired up. I can feel the fire. I can feel the fire within my body, like, whoa, it's getting me excited. I want to see what else. So we have the essence of the Ponamu, the green stone, the pillar of creation showing up in connection with the essence, the code of the Ra. The Ra is sharing the energy of the eternal now. So this is what we are dancing. This is what we are creating with this sacred dance. This is what we are bringing in with this sacred dance, the remembrance of that eternal pillar of creation. Because yes, it's always now. It always has been now. And then we have the balance, the MA AKE. This was also something that has been in the energies for the last months. The balancing, the 0 point, the equilibrium. This is why I connected to the 0 point, because when you are in balance, when the equilibrium is happening, this is how the 0 point is happening. When you bring your energies, the light energies and the dark energies, the shadow and the light, if you bring those into balance, what it creates within you is balance, is 0 point, is that feeling of that equilibrium. And it feels like that there will be a moment where we will experience this within the next weeks. At least the opportunity is really, it's really pointing to that. I mean, we have sacred union, we have MA AKE, we have that, we have it all there. And even with what I've shared, the energies of the sacred father light and the sacred mother light being there in sacred union, what more of a balance could be there? I just looked at one of the cards and it was the 0. I'm pulling some cards, I feel 4 from the Kaha deck. Oh, we had this last month as well. Wants to be there. This one. No. So what is happening here is we can feel that the activation, I feel like the activation and the nourishment that we've received throughout the opening of the roots in the last 4 weeks is now going to be uplifted into the heart space. It's going to move into the heart space. So these are all frequencies that are aligned. This is aligned with the root. These are aligned with the sacral kaha, the toy kaha, this one as well. The toy kaha is all about creation energy, of course. And this card is really gonna, it's like a rocket. It's like just bringing it right there. And it's like we have the arrowhead again showing up, and it's going to bring things right into heart center. So the energies are really going to hit our hearts. This is what I feel. This is what I feel I have to share. Do you have any questions or any comments on this?
Sounds pretty on point, as it usually is. Let me see if anybody has a question.
Or a comment, yeah.
Yes, or we always invite you to come onto the screen to have the conversation and show your beautiful face. That's how we do it at HOH TV.
And it's also interesting. I mean, we have the mother of all changes also in the geometry. So this is no surprise in the end that the energy of the mother is this present. It's right there on the 1st of December saying,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Gosh. So Mahopaku, I don't know if you and Mawarika want to come on and share about this happening that you had, or something in alignment with the mission that they had earlier today.
Oh.
That would be nice to hear from them. Hear about what happened. Please come join us.
Yeah, apart from that, I really feel that we are invited to really focus on this possibility of this opportunity of dancing and softening into that dance, which can happen in so many ways and in so many places, let's say in our day-to-day life. So making ourselves really flexible, making ourselves able to respond to the improvisation of it. And I remember, because I've rewatched the reading, that was already also there in the last month, like this thing of, okay, we're going to let the script fall. And now we are really getting good at this. Let's say we are stepping into the next level of being okay with not knowing what it actually is that we are creating, but we are becoming more happy with this dance, Yeah.
There's one of them.
Oh, Wawa Nui.
Wawa Nui. How's everyone?
Oh, welcome. The first guest in our show. How beautiful.
The answer through Wahoo. Because I didn't even know I was gonna be the first guest. But I'm leading from a place of love and intuition. And I'm just feeling very, very aligned right now. It's a time of gift receiving, and it's a time for us to finally receive what we've been putting out as far as the work this year. A lot of purging and integrations and dragon rides occurring with that as well.
Yes, for sure. And I mean the month of the December with the Kawa energies are all about the purging. The White Star Rhino is sharing the energy of the breakthrough, which is needed in order to really purge things out. You need to have that breakthrough. You need to have that opening to then have the lions run the energies through the gate. So it's all right there, and it feels like a peak. It's already it's there in the Maita energies, the peaking of things, Yeah.
I would love to speak to that as well, sister, because in a way you all are we are all cell to each other. So in the same way in the herd where you got the leader that follows the herd, and then it's like the how can I explain, like a circular motion. And so we all support each other in ways at times can be unfathomable. So I would like to speak to the fact that you brought up the Lionsgate, because I was given a few downloads about that. The authentic Lionsgate, which is aligned to the Lemurian, would be in the Hayamotu, which would be January Gregorian on the 8th day or the 8th moment Lemurian. And so it's so much sacred guardianship that's there. You not only have the White Star Lion Nation that's there, but you also have support from the Okapi and also from the rhinoceros. And so with those energies, you can see that the Father is very present which is the foundation for the energies to be laid, and to make sure that everything is seated and seated into the grids properly. Um, Very interesting that the term we use for Christmas is mass time mass, because this is what I see in my consciousness is light, an abundance of light being seated at this time. A lot of light, a lot of mass, a lot of Christic energies, and energies relating to the crystal or the first stone. A lot of blue ray energies because of, again, that willpower and that foundation.
Yes, for sure. I mean, it's the Lion's Gate and the Lemurian calendar in this alignment is aligned to the Blue Order. The Blue Order not only comes with the blue ray beings, it comes also with the aquamarine, turquoise beings, and the white light. So the energy, the Blue Order is actually coming with 3 different lights that work together. One is for harmonization, one is for purification, and one is for truth. So this is how this moment is. It is, let's say, a blueprint, Blue Order moment where the Blue Order is making sure that things are taking place. And with the energy of the Lion's Gate, you not only have the supporting energies and the motu of December, but you also have the motu and the kawa from January, of course. So you have the hea, you have the hoirere, the horse, and the other one was, is it the tiger?
Mataimure.
Yeah. So you have those present as well.
Yep.
So imagine this gate is filled up with a lot of light and a lot of power and energy, and it's making things happen. I mean, we know the hea just out of there, you know. It's going to be very beautiful to see, you know, how this is going to unfold. It really feels like razor sharp. That's just what I get. It's like razor sharp. Yeah, beautiful.
This is a strong confirmation for us this entire reading, because everything that you that Kahasahi, and thank you so much, Kahasahi, for this, and Tamake, it's a strong confirmation with the conversation that we had, Mahopaku and I, earlier this rising. We did a whole unplanned ceremony with another participant in the Dragon Masters course, and we were able to anchor down some codes, and I'm still integrating. So you caught me off guard. I feel like my wings are still wet, but I'm not gonna leave my brother hanging real quick. But it was exactly to the T what you're speaking of, and we were talking about the Kahuku Motu and how it was the transformation and the shedding and the rebirthing that needed to take place. And then coming into the Opaku or Opaki, having the structured support of the father, and to set the precedence to protect even for the Lion's Gate, and the abundance coming was exactly what we were talking about. Well, Mahopaku was really getting that download like right after we did the ceremonies. So in hearing you say this, we're like we're in the back on WhatsApp, like, are you hearing what she's saying? Like,
yeah, right. Right.
Like, it is exactly to the T. But it's amazing. There's a lot to come for sure, and there's always a lot of gifting and receiving, and that abundance energy is still here, and it's circulating. It's circulating, and we definitely feel a peak coming on the horizon.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. And again, like I said, I'm still integrating from all the codes because we did a big ceremony and a lot of light that we
Can I
anchored down.
I would love to speak to that. About a hour in present time after y'all went live, I came back from the formless.
Mm.
Literally an hour later at 13:44, which is 1:44 in the regular timing. And so that's in relation to the 144,000 plus DNA strands in that coding from outside of light. And so being able to bring that back, and also MA AKE was very present in the ceremony as well.
You
I saw
did
your
say that. Said that.
your crow was in my consciousness, and then while speaking light language, I literally spoke your name,
He
and
did.
so it was there.
Did. He said to me
Tama Ake. Maybe
after
you
we
want to share what your essence is actually referring to. I don't know if they know what your essence is sharing.
Oh, okay. It is the awoken child who is awakened in the form. And there is a more expanded story that is held within that of being awoken from the dream time, being the
Mm.
one who brings the dream into reality.
So it's no coincidence that you spoke her name, or not her name,
no,
but her
in the
Yes.
middle
essence.
of the ceremony. In the middle of the ceremony, I was doing my
Yeah.
thing, he was doing his thing together.
Mm.
And we have another he's not a sealed Huna yet, but he's in a Dragon Master, but he will be sealed soon. And he was also there to witness it.
Mm.
But Nidal, if you're there, hi. But I remember him
Right.
saying Tamake, and then after the ceremony, he was like, did you feel Tamake? Because, and I'm like, bro, I heard you say her name, but we were weaving in so many codes at the moment. So it was wild. It was wild. And then she ends up here confirming, like, this is just amazing. And I'm just in awe with all of it because it
Mm.
was completely unplanned, even to this show and to this episode. So it's like it's super amazing, guys. Like,
I mean,
The
honestly,
unknown.
we don't know what comes up either, you
No.
know. I don't even see the geometries before we go live. It's all right here and now happening. So it's all aligned. Of course, we know that we are all connected and we are all telepathically communicating with one another. And yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much for the sharing.
And I
yes.
want to share with you. I didn't wear my black feather earrings today. I went with the Honus, but these guys just wanted to come and hang out with me. I was going to try to put them in my pond, but I have 27 crow feathers that I had gifted myself for my birthday earlier this year. The other 3 are in ceremony with Saint Expedite as we speak. But they wanted to come down and hang out. I thought I was going to wear them. They're like, no, we just want to chill. Now I know why. Usually they're hiding and not
And
sitting.
you know what's funny? Just for the sake of synchronicity, I'm going to comment on this. But I just saw a comment where somebody was mentioning Hare Krishna, and it's so funny. I had like the song running in my mind over the last days, so I was pondering on the coding of the Hare Krishna and what that actually is. So I don't have anything to share on that yet, but it's just funny that it's coming up here, and I'm like, what is going
I can
on? Just the
tell.
synchronicities and the little things that are popping up, and you're like, what? It's like,
Yeah.
and this is showing us, like, yeah, we are all connected, and we are picking up on things from the future, like what I had with the geometries and with your sharings that you did, Tama Ake. It's so cool to see, like, okay, we are now really moving again into this time where it's amping up. At least that's the feeling for me. Yeah,
During the ceremony,
accelerating.
I will share that there was a song that I started to that came out of me to sing. It was in Lemurian, but do you remember Mahupaku? You called it something when you translated it. You said it was the song of
Oh, the song of the long right dragon of the Kumara, the song of the Kumara and the long right dragon. And so we the song of Tony Maru to mean more precise. But when oh did that y'all stepped into the formats for a second. But I was about to say when we went up there to weave the code, and me and Maurika, we conjoined and we went on the joint dragon ride. And so it was up there in the formulas outside of like, even so much to the point where it was the consciousness was fully operating from the place of omnipresent. And so we knew certain things would happen minutes and seconds in light years before they was even happening in the physical. And when it happened in the physical, it would be like, oh yeah, we talked about this in the formulas and this and the third. But yeah, the song of the Long White Dragon, Tony Model.
Yeah, beautiful. And you're
And it
sharing
was
this
3
now.
hours long. The whole thing was 3 hours long, and it felt like an hour, maybe tops 45 minutes. Like when we hung up, because we did the call from the Dragon Master study group. It was all unplanned. It was like 3 hours and 18 minutes on the clock. And we were like, how? And we were like literally in the formless the whole time.
Wow.
It was a lot of, yeah.
And it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing about the song of Tani Maro, because, you know, we are at the end of the Kahukumotu. We're closing that moment. And I remember that I did a reading. I shared this already in the last show for the fall season. I usually do lives on my Instagram for each like tapu, in each tapu moment. And now we're coming to the next one. And I the one that was present for the last 3 motus was Tani Maro. And he shared that there was a demand in the energies. And he was sharing that energy of a demand. So it's really beautiful to see, okay, there's a song that's now been remembered that came from that dragon energy, or that shares that dragon energy. So thank you for that sharing and that confirmation and that recognition. And also for me to see, okay, this is, you know, it's coming to close, let's say, and now the new tapu window is going to open. Very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Wawa, and thank you. Everything's on point again in alignment.
Cuckoo and Boca.
Can't make it up. So thank you. I would do.
In the Itwa.
I only have one hand. But gratitude. All right, family.
Wawa.
Wawa. Beautiful.
Wow.
So if anybody else has a question, now's the time to jump on. Otherwise, I feel if you don't have anything else that you want to look at, if there's anything where you feel, oh, if not,
Nothing.
I think we would probably wrap it up soon.
Nothing's coming to mind for me. I was going to say something and then it's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you said it to them anyway.
Yeah, in the telepathics. Whatever it was. Hasama today says she's nurturing 3 mother ducks and babies on her land. That's so sweet.
Oh, the Wawas.
She's got the Wawa.
You've got the Wawa. Oh, 2121.
That's what time it is for you?
No, I just saw you posting the link on 2121.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if anybody of you has a question, like it could be anything. Maybe there's a thing that you always wanted to have a look at. It can be whatever you want it to be.
It'll be a card reading for those who
Yeah.
who maybe aren't sure what we're doing.
You can come
right
on
now.
now and seize this opportunity to.
Yes. Hi, Huna.
Yeah, have
One
some
of our
cards.
Vancouver Hunas.
Mawari
is in the
and
house.
Marari, Huna Marari. Wawa.
Marari.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from waiting another moment to see if somebody wants to jump on, I really feel it's interesting. It feels different in the energies than last month.
Yeah.
It feels different in the body. The resonance is like, it's different. So very potent as I was feeling it through the reading, like the fire was really there. So big amplification on the intentional fire within us. Let me say it that way. Yeah. Anything else from you?
Thinking if there's a question that can be asked, since I asked one last month as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything that's coming to mind for you?
I mean, of course, we can take another look at how things will further unfold in the geopolitical realm. It's just a question of if we really want to look at it, if we really want to go there. That's always an option. Apart from that, like, for example, concerning prosperity or concerning abundance, I really feel that this is actually already covering the necessity of things, because I truly feel that the aspect that I've shared before about the dance and the opportunity that we actually have within the physical realm right now is that which we should really focus on. So let's put it that way: the abundance within ourselves and the fluidity, the current within ourselves is really what we got to focus on, what we got to look at in order to learn and to receive remembrance about abundance. That's what I feel. So I wouldn't want to go there, because it would be maybe distracting from the point of focusing on this. That makes sense. Yeah. But no, I think it's good. I feel it's good.
Yeah, I think this is where we close, because it feels right. I don't have
feels
anything
good.
that's
It
coming
feels
through.
on point. It feels even though this time it was not so many like cards with the codes that were pulled, still it was very potent. It was very precise, on the point. That's what I felt. So I feel this is what wanted to come through for this episode. So exciting. We had our first visitors. That's beautiful. I'm so grateful for them to show up, even though it was spontaneous. But yeah, very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. So to close, we will be back in a month. It's going to be the last Sunday. I almost said Saturday. The last Sunday of December. I'm going to double check what that number is. The 29th will be in the Maita on the next one. So that will be the next episode here on HOH TV. We'll do maybe a more concise summary.
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah, for sure.
And then go through all the things, see what January is meant to bring, because December is already a doozy. In the description of the video, as I mentioned earlier, we have our websites. Get sessions with us. I do have a geometry print shop. So if you want to get something like the Mother of All Changes printed on something, I do have some of the named geometries available, along with the gangsta merch. There's really cool straight out of Lemuria Compton design that I did. Downloads are available of the geometry, so you can go play with them. You can set them on fire if you want to in your ceremonies. It's a lot of fun to play with fire.
Yes.
The raffle is open with Huna Flash to get his one-on-one session. You have a good chance of winning if you sign up now, because we don't have a lot of people that have signed up so far. So that'll be fun. Is there anything else for you, Kasahi?
No, just go get that raffle.
Yes, get the
You
raffle.
might
Get a
win
one-on-
something.
get a one-on-one with the big guy.
Yeah.
It's always fun to be able to talk to him for an hour. It's always he's always a hoot.
Yeah, apart from that, excited to share that there is already more movement for the HOH TV channel in progress. And yes,
Yeah, we had a little change of schedule. Kahiwaha was not able to start this month. So maybe she starts in December. We'll send a newsletter out. We'll let people know what's going on. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, otherwise there's going to be another episode of Huna Flash TV. If we are on the 29th, that would be on the 22nd of December.
Yes.
So already mark that in your calendar. That will be beautiful. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for everyone that was live with us. So great to see everyone here. So grateful that everyone watched live. Looking forward.
And if you're still watching and you're watching the replay, hi.
Hi, yes.
Thanks for being here. We had over 1,000. We had over 1,000 views on the first episode.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So was really.
Thank you. Thank you for doing the replay. We love you.
Yeah, I hope really that this is bringing clarity and guidance for everyone. And I'm excited to hear more feedback from you. Looking forward to each comment. And yeah, looking forward to the next episode already.
Wawa.
Wawa nui.